Oh my God, I almost had a perfect intro. Welcome on in, everybody, to a special segment. Today, obviously, is not Sunday, but we have a special guest here, you guys know as Tactical Grandma. And why don't you tell us a bit about yourself, Grandma?
Sorry, I didn't want to cough in your ear.
It's
Hi,
fine.
I'm Grandma. I'm actually a grandma. Imagine that.
Yeah.
I have been playing video games since I was 7. I started Pong,
Oh my goodness.
grew through like Atari 2600. My husband, I had all the Nintendo systems, Xbox, PlayStation, now PC.
Ooh.
I started streaming, October 2019. So about what, 4.5 years now? Not months, 4.5 years.
Yeah, I was about to say,
Um,
I probably started watching it around the
yeah,
time that you started.
yeah. Started on Facebook, was a Facebook streamer partner, contractor partner, and then they messed everything up. So we all left. Now I stream on Twitch, mostly play Call of Duty, but I do like other first person. Tarkov is like I relax after stream and play Tarkov, which
Okay.
sounds weird.
That's
I
one I
know
haven't started playing yet. I want to actually learn how to play Tarkov. I just got
it's
to find
not
people who play
relaxing,
it.
but for me it is. Yeah. So mostly first person shooters. I miss playing Madden and FIFA, but I can't use a controller.
We're
So
going to
I
get into that because I saw one of your recent TikToks, obviously. I may stalk you a bit on social media, but
okay.
that is
Hey.
only because you were one of the first. We talked about this a bit beforehand, too. You were one of the first streamers I started watching before I really knew what streaming was. But you are one of the
When I
very.
really didn't know what it was either.
Exactly, yeah. But you're oh, I'm peeking here. I'm so sorry, guys. You're one of the you're one of the only streamers I let my kids watch
Aw.
because you keep it clean, you keep it friendly, you try not to use vulgar language, which I think I may have
Most of
heard
the
you say
time.
damn once, maybe. I
Yeah.
honestly,
I said the
honestly.
S word the other day too now.
No way. I love how you're
I did.
referencing it, like the S word.
The S word.
Yeah, that's funny. I did want to give a quick shout out to all of Grandma's community who's in here right now who found my kick and we're here to support the podcast. I'm doing this a bit mobile because I'm on vacation to go visit my brother, which a lot of my community already knows. And Grandma was so generous to let me have your time on this Tuesday. So I thank you for that again.
Appreciate you having me.
Yeah, of course.
I love talking about myself.
Who doesn't
Said no
love
one. No,
talking
I'm just
about
kidding.
this? So you said
Yeah.
you started streaming about 4.5 years ago, was it?
Yes.
Okay,
Four and a half years ago. So October 2019, like mid month. First stream was like an Apex stream. And like
okay.
there was no sound because I had some stuff not set up right. There was no sound. It was for 30 minutes. And then
Oh
I
my
just
God.
ended it. I'm like, and then I didn't go live for 2 weeks after that
Oh my gosh.
because it
So
was so messed up.
how did you what gave you the inclination that you're like, I want to start streaming? Like
Nothing.
what
I
happened?
did not want to start streaming. Let's
Okay.
just be real.
Okay.
So because I like my son tried to get me to watch streamers for a long time. I'm like, that's
Mm-hmm.
stupid. I would rather just play video games and watch someone else play video games. Why would you do that?
Yeah.
But then the way Facebook works back then is like all of a sudden, like Pool Shark and Darkness, they would come up on my thing. They're playing Fortnite together and they were funny. And each day I kept going back and watching. And then my husband's like, what are you watching? Because he'd hear it each morning. And I'm like, oh, they're playing Fortnite. They're funny. And he's like, okay, whatever. But then he started watching and he got into it.
There you
So
go.
that's how I got into even watching it, was because of Facebook. And that's why I started there, because that's where I started consuming the content. But so like I said, I couldn't use a controller because I have arthritis. So like just
Yeah.
moving my hands like that really hurts. So my husband's like, we'll get you a PC. You can learn how to play,
Mm-hmm.
mouse and keyboard. Since you like to play video games, you can still play. And I'm like, okay, that'll be fun. I should have known he had an ulterior motive,
Of course.
because both him and my son, as soon as I got it, they're like, you should stream. Like, no one's going to watch someone my age. I was 54, right? No one's going to watch someone my age play video games. And they're
You
like,
were
my husband's
so
like,
wrong.
well, he's like, we have nothing to worry about then if no one's going to watch. So just might as well try. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh. So I got up the courage to do it and I did it.
Nice. And look, and
Yeah.
it turned out well. I mean, because you have been like this huge sensation. I mean, we just saw each other for a second time now because we met in Atlanta the first time at DreamHack. Um, and I was a blubbering mess. And our first picture together was super blurry. And then I found you again. I was like,
Oh,
"Do you mind if we
yeah,
retake
I remember
this?" Yeah.
that.
And you're
Yeah.
like, "Yeah, of course." I was like, "You're so freaking sweet. Thank you." But we went. So the reason why we went to was Loot Fest, and I later on learned that you're actually part owner of Loot
Yeah.
Fest. Tell me a bit about
Yeah.
that. How did you get involved in this?
So I mean, James started it, which is 9, 8, 12.
Mm-hmm.
He started it, and he did a couple, he did one small one in kind of up closer to what's the city above Dallas? Anyways, where he lives. That was the first one. And then we did one in Vegas and he was running it, and Miranda was helping him because she worked because he owned Streamer Loot at the time. And
Okay.
so Miranda was working for him, and that's kind of how it started.
Mm-hmm.
And then was it two? Sean might be able to clarify if it's this is our second year of being one of the owners, I think. He brought
Mm-hmm.
us in and then Fab TV in.
Okay.
And so the five of us work it together. And like, let's just be real, I don't do much work. I'm just there. I just walk around and say hi to people. Miranda does most of the work, Iron Myra. She does
Yeah.
the
I
majority of the work to get it
I
ready.
love her so much. We
Yeah.
connected on Twitter because I wanted to do the podcast from Loot Fest, and they didn't. She
Mm-hmm.
told me, she's like, "We really didn't expect it to blow up like this." She's like, "I'm not sure what happened." And she's like, "But it did. And like, we're trying to make sure we have everything prepared for this and yada, yada, yada." She's like, "But you can use one of these rooms." And she was super sweet about it. And then after Loot Fest, after it ended, everybody's headed home. I made a tweet about the hour, like the drive that we had home. And she
Mm-hmm.
had commented and she goes, "We have to be in the same neck of the woods because I have a similar drive." And then I
Right.
disclosed my location. She said something like kind of, similar without like doxing herself. And so I was like, "I'm sending
Mm-hmm.
you a DM." Turns out we live within like 20 minutes of each other.
That's
It
crazy. She's
is.
amazing.
She's
She does so
so
much. And
sweet.
then James was a, 912 was a visionary for this. He's the one that
Hmm.
started it. And so just bringing us in, like Sean, my husband's great at the marketing. He does really good at bringing people in and bringing brands in to come
Yeah.
to partner with us and to come be at it. So that's his job. And then Fab's been in content creation for so long. He does really good about bringing some of the big, I mean, because of him, we had Lupo there, right? So
Hmm.
he has connections with creators to bring them in. And then I just go around and talk to everybody or whatever.
Hey,
That's just
sometimes
all
that's
my
all we
job is.
need. That's all we need is for you to go do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. They want Sean more than they want me anyway. So it is what it is.
Yeah, my community has definitely my partner. His game name's Negan, like the character from Walking Dead, and
Okay.
yeah, I think he might be a little egotistical. I'm not really sure, but I love him. But my community has grown to the point where they want more Negan content, and I'm like, you guys realize that this is sin though. Like this is like the
Right.
podcast is Sundays with Sin, and you want Negan? I'm like, what? I'm like, what is
Yeah.
this anarchy? I'm like, this is
Right.
ridiculous. Like this is I built
Spouses thing.
this. Right. um, and the other thing that happened at Lou Fest too, which was really cool, two things. One, I saw Tactical Grandma take a shot of Fireball, which was absolutely
Huh?
cool. I don't know, when I think of my grandma, okay, as far as she goes as drinking as she eats rum cake. Okay.
Okay.
I've never, and so then I see like you're like the internet grandma, you're the streamer grandma. And when I see streamer grandma go ahead and take a shot, I'm like, "Oh, now this is freaking cool." I literally
I took it like a boss too.
you did. I got a video of it. I have a video of it because I was standing right out there
Nice.
in the dance floor and I was sitting there. I was like, I am not missing this at all whatsoever. And we just played it the
So
other day on stream too.
that's so funny. The first how that came out. So like I said, 912, he owned Loot Fest. I think they're bringing it back, but anyway, not Loot Fest, Streamer Loot. So stream merch, right? Streamers merch.
Yeah.
So we went to I had just been started streaming. We went to PAX West in Boston right before the pandemic. So it was so it was 2020. So it was March of 2020.
Okay.
I was part of Streamer Loot, and they were having like a meetup for people who were part of it. And so Sean and I went, we knew no one, right? And we're standing there and he's like getting shots and he's like saying, here's this shots for the people who've been with me the longest. And I lean over to Sean. I'm like, hold on, this is so good because there's no way he's going to make, I've never done a fireball shot prior to that
Oh
point. Like, there's
God.
no way he's going to make me do this because I'm so old. Well, apparently he heard me. And you know how James is. So he's like, okay. And then we're standing there talking. I'm kind of laughing. And then he goes, and this one's for the oldest person that's part of Streamer Loot. I'm like, oh, crap. This is me. And then so he made me do he didn't make me, but kind of
Yeah.
made me do a
Foot
fireball shot. And I was
foot in
like,
the mouth.
actually, they're not
Yeah.
bad.
Ew.
They're not.
You
And now it's a thing.
you
So,
think
yeah.
fireball shot? Oh my gosh. I don't know. Maybe it's like
I think
I ate a lot of like big red candy when I was little, and like that's my bio mom's choice of drink is fireball, and like I can't get behind it. But then again, if I'm drinking like alcohol, like if I'm drinking liquor, taking a shot of something, which it's not as often as it once was, but
right.
my drink of choice is Jaeger. So I guess I don't really have any
Okay.
room to talk.
Jaeger's like, oh,
It's NyQuil. It's great.
exactly. It's not.
It's
It's not.
fantastic.
Yeah, like so I don't like I said, I take shots at these events. I don't take shots when
Yeah.
we're here at home. Like I'll like when I play search and destroy stuff, we have a drink sometimes.
Yeah.
But
That's understandable though. That's supposed to, I mean, that goes with it. I mean, like when I play Search and Destroy usually with my buddy Coy, which is a friend that I met like online playing COD, we'll go ahead and we'll have a couple beers or something and we'll just sit there
yeah.
and drink. Like, but
I mean,
every other
you
day
need
of the week
something
I
to be
don't.
able to
Yeah, every other week I don't drink. And when I have
yeah,
my kids too, which so we have like a
right.
blended family, so like our kids go to their other parents' houses and that's really the time like if I decide I'm gonna drink, I'll drink then. I don't really drink when
Right.
they're here though, because then I'm just like I don't know. I just don't have a taste for it. I don't know what it is.
Yeah. I feel like when our kids were younger, especially teenagers, like we actually didn't drink at that time because I was like, I'm telling my kids not to drink, but then
Yeah.
I'm gonna be drinking. I don't know. I just felt I don't know. It's like how do you anyway? So during that period of time, we actually didn't drink. We didn't drink at all, just because I didn't want to be telling my kids one thing and doing another. I don't know.
Yeah,
Even
absolutely.
though like it's legal for me because I don't know. Just at that point, it wasn't important. We didn't, and
Yeah.
then wasn't until they were older, and now we'll go and have drinks together with them.
There you
So
go. That's
yeah,
how it is with well, not with my dad and my stepmom. They actually are recovering alcoholics. So they're like
right.
15 plus years sober, but they still
Yeah.
say recovering, never recovered.
Oh yeah. My
And
aunt, 30 some years. Yeah.
yeah. And so with my bio mom or my sister's mom, who I call my mom, like we'll have drinks together and it's cool now, because I'm of age and it's
Right.
legal to go ahead and do it. And so if we want to
Right.
drink, we'll go ahead and we'll drink. But she wasn't really big on drinking when we were younger either. She'd have like maybe a
Yeah.
beer occasionally and stuff, but
Yeah.
I don't know, there's something about it. Like just you kind of like have a hankering maybe for it, like before you become a parent, like in your early 20s or something, late
Yeah.
teens, like whenever it's like, oh, it's almost legal, you
Yeah.
know. But then after that, you kind of just lose the wow factor of it, and you're just like, I'm
Well,
good.
like you have so much addiction in my family. So not only my like my whole mom's side of the family, my grandpa was an alcoholic. All my
Mm-hmm.
mom's siblings were either drug or alcohol addicted. My mom chose food. This was her choice. Like she said, she was addicted to like hers was food. She just didn't do drugs and alcohol. So
Yeah.
I knew we had addiction. We have addictive personalities or traits in our family. So I've always once I okay, when I was in high school it was different, but when I got older, I was like, you know what, it's I need to be careful with this. So I try to be very careful with it. I won't like if Sean's gone, I won't drink if I'm the only one here because I feel
Yeah.
like then that's a slippery slope. You start bringing yourself down.
That is crazy you say that too, because I have explained to people several times. And like I said, we have a mental health podcast that we do on Wednesdays, and we've talked about the dangers of like addiction. And, usually like when people go through a breakup, the first thing people say is, let's go to the bar, let's get trash, let's forget about her, forget about him or whatever. And, that came up in an episode, and I had mentioned the same thing. I was like, there was one point in my life where I was drinking more than usual, and I had to take a step back because I was just like, I can't tell if I'm an alcoholic or not. And so I remember calling my dad and asking him, and I was just like, I know that alcoholism and drug addiction runs in our family. How did you know that you were
Mhm.
an alcoholic? Like I had to have that the one-on-one
Yeah.
conversation with I'm so sorry. There was a troll here in chat.
Imagine.
Yeah, of course it's gonna happen. But I had to have a one with my dad and like call him because I was like, dude, I'm like, I'm having an issue here. I'm like, how did you know that you were an alcoholic? Because I'm afraid I might be one. You know what I mean? And let me just go ahead and just delete the people
Yeah.
wanted to ruin having chat on screen now. So yikes. That's okay though. Normally if it's like a regular troll, which I'll ask you your advice on that, how you deal with trolls, because normally if it's a regular troll, I'll kind of let them talk for a minute. I kind of
Yeah.
might tease back. They're trying to like call me ugly or fat or something, because that
Right.
comes with it,
I'll be like,
especially
yep.
I'd be like, you caught
And
me. And then I might get a little inappropriate and say how like my man doesn't seem to mind or whatever. Um, but oh, thank you, Kickstaff, for the front page. But the other trolls will come in and they'll start spewing like the N word. So we've had
right.
people go
Those are
ahead and spew in, hi Namanja. We have people spewing the N word. We've had people spew in like, the slurs for homosexuals,
mhm,
or anybody in the LGBTQIA plus community.
mhm,
And the trick that or the tricky part that I've had is that I've had TTS on my stream. I've had TTS where it's been free and I've almost had it. I'm like, I think I need to switch it to where it's sub only, and that sucks for my genuine followers who are here that can't afford to sub. But at the
right.
same time, it's like people are abusing it though.
Yeah.
They're abusing it
Yeah.
by spewing this stuff. And then also they're abusing it by just now. I had to go ahead and take chat off of, I usually have it play on screen when I'm doing the podcast. And I had to take that
Yeah.
off because they want to spew some racist stuff on here. And I don't want it to ruin
Right.
everything either. So
Right.
what has been like your most challenging time with a troll that you can remember? And how do you handle that? What's some advice you can give on that?
I don't think I think of the most challenging. Hmm. So I kind of feel the same as you. Like if
Mm-hmm.
people come in there saying, I'm trash at the game, you suck at the game, you're fat. I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. But
Right. And
so
one ear
my
out the
goal
other.
has always, yeah, it's always been to try to be like, okay, I'm not always good at this, but I try to be like, okay, thinking, I wonder what's going on with them, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
I have a saying like, hurt people, right? So they're probably just hurting. I've had times where I was just like, are you okay? Do you need a hug today? Like, is your day going all right? And they're like, well, actually, no, it's not. And I've had a couple people by trying to be nice and trying to, like you just said, trying to go that route at first, that they've been like, oh, actually it is, I'm not having a good day. And they've come around and now they're nice and they've stayed in chat. Right.
Yeah.
So I've had that issue. But then there's the ones that like, we try to be nice, but like if they go after anybody in chat,
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna protect my community members. I'm a mama bear. So
Yeah.
you're out if you go after any community members, racist, homophobic, all that stuff is just where you're out.
Immediate ban, yeah.
There's no place for that, right?
Yeah.
So
So speaking of like your community, and a lot of your mods have been in here, and obviously your husband's in here too. Huge shout
mhm,
out to Grandpa on that one because that's super cool. I love that. Negan will go in to like if I'm on somebody's stream or something, he'll go in and support them too. And he doesn't,
yeah,
he's not big on the streaming, but I
yeah,
love seeing that because it's just I don't think our partners realize like how cool of a thing that is for us. That you're going and
yeah.
supporting us like that. Um, but your mod team, I know one of your mods was in here earlier. I think her name was Tiff, was it? Was she one of the
Tiffers,
mods?
yeah.
Yeah, I think she
Yeah.
had to leave. But I saw her name in there. So how did you come up
Miss
with
Kenny
your
Boy, all of them.
yeah, how did you come
Few
up
mods.
with your mods? How did you get your mod team that you have now?
For me, it was just first it was obviously just me and Sean, because really it was only me and him watching at first.
Yeah.
But anyways, so and then as I went and I saw just who was in my chat, and like I could tell they were there every day. And then so people would ask questions and they would just be answering because they could see how I wanted things and how I answered stuff. And they were kind of just doing it before they were mods. So I find people like that are already just kind of a positive
Yeah.
part of the community, that are already kind of just being like contributing in that way. Those are the people that I asked to mod. So it's like Mrs. Kenny Boy is one of the newest ones, but
Yeah, I just
same
saw
thing. She
that.
was just always in there and just like, she would be answering if one of the other mods was, or even if they were, I mean, they just try to help, like, especially I'm old and I'm playing Call of Duty, and sometimes I'm so like distracted that I don't see the comments. So
Yeah.
it's nice that they're there to help me answer them for
That's
people.
how it was with one of my mods, Sierra in chat. She actually mods for two of my other friends as well. And that just kind of how it was. She was just in chat. She was always hanging out. She was helping. She was being helpful, like responding to people without me even asking. And finally one day
Yeah.
I was just like, hey, you want to be a mod? Because I could really use the help sometimes. Because like when we get some other people in here, oh,
BB
BB
Jess.
Jess, hi,
Sorry.
BB Jess. No, never apologize. I absolutely love her. We're getting her on here next. We just gotta, like I said, we just
Nice.
gotta nail it down a day, you know?
Right.
Um, but yeah, that's how Sierra does. And then one of my other mods actually is we did a podcast. Our relationship is so funky. She is she is the mother of my son's sister. And we became actually best
Okay.
friends though, because we always put our kids first. And we said no
Mm-hmm.
matter our feelings for each other or our feelings for their father, you know, we're always going to be good to each other and for the sake of the kids, you know, we're always going to make sure they have a
Right.
relationship. And we stuck by that. The craziest part is that she now is like my number one mod. That's Jordan Jorts in my chat. She's my number one
Okay.
mod. She's there for everything that I need. She sends me timestamps. She clips things if she can. She's in every single stream. She's, if I need a mod meeting or something, talk about like some, you know, different avenues we want to take. She actually is now my she's almost like my assistant in the sense of she actually has access to my Google Calendar for every podcast that I have planned out for like the next month, and she's the only one with access to it, and she can like add and take away for me and stuff.
That's awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's my husband for me. So
Yeah, it's difficult, I feel like, to go ahead and find like that genuine connection of like people who like just really just they're good-hearted. They just want to see you grow and they're not looking for anything in return. You know what I mean? Like they're not trying to gain
yeah,
anything from it or like, you know, what people are saying now like the clout chasing or anything like that. They
yeah,
just they genuinely want to see you grow or they genuinely believe in you. I think that's pretty
exactly.
awesome to have.
The ones you get, the ones, especially on TikTok, you have the ones that are like, "Hey, can I be a mod?" I'm like, "Yeah, nope."
Yeah. Yeah, first time like I like it on Twitch when
Yeah.
you can see like the first time chatter. I
Yeah.
really hope that Kick gets that soon. But
Can
you
I
can
be a mod?
see,
Because
yeah.
I think I'd be good at it.
And like
I've never been here before.
right, it's like, yeah, sure, buddy. I'm gonna give you access to everything in my stream right now. Thank you for coming here for the first time ever.
Yeah.
It's the weirdest stuff.
Yeah.
Um, Another thing that I had on the top of my head here, talking about Loot Fest, though, is that we saw this really cool video that was released of
Oh.
you shooting a teddy bear. You want to talk to me through this project that you have going on there, or
Mhm.
what all you can say about it? I'm not sure if there's
Yeah.
anything like kept behind the
No,
scenes.
no. So there's a local company here called Travax that makes wallets. My
Mm-hmm.
husband's used one of their wallets for years. And they wanted to partner with us, excuse me, on a line of wallets and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So they had this idea of doing this shoot of me shooting actual weapons. So most of the shoot was done locally here by us, and it was small like handguns and ARs and stuff like that. And they took me to the range, and it was working with a guy who was a special forces guy and just kind of going through some stuff. I've
Mm-hmm.
shot before. We own weapons, but it's
Yeah,
been a
yeah.
while. And so I didn't know some of the, he's trying to then he made me do like the pistol like qualifying. You have to, draw it and hit it within 3 seconds, blah, blah, blah.
Oh,
No, 1.1.5 seconds. I did it in 3. But
oh, look
anyways,
at you
so
go.
I was like, okay,
I would
I'll take
fumble.
doubles,
I would
right?
fumble.
so so they wanted to just do that and shoot it. And then the sniping part was we had to go like to Eastern Washington. I live in Washington State. We had to go to Eastern Washington because it's the only place that we could shoot that far, which was 1,200 meters.
Mm-hmm.
So and they had guys over there that are elite snipers, one's in SWAT, and they were teaching me how to snipe. So that's what that shot was from. I did a 1,200-meter shot with a sniper to hit the teddy bear.
That was
That
a
was
pretty
crazy.
cool. It
I
was.
never thought I would actually hit it. I was nervous. I was scared
It was.
because they were being kind of weird. Like a couple of them were like, I don't know, maybe you should just take the shot to get it. And then the guys who were teaching me like, no, she's gonna do it. We got this.
I
And I did it
was
within 20 minutes.
I was so excited. So we caught like the very, very end of what they were showing at Lou Fest. I wasn't in the room at the time. And later you had shared it. I think you had shared it to Twitter and I had
Yeah.
seen it. And I went and I remember I slapped the shirt out of Negan and I was just like, look, I said, this is what they showed at Loop Fest. It's like, we missed it. And he was looking, I was like, this is so cool. It was actually, it was a very,
Apparently, there's a
very,
lot more footage. That was just the one because we were supposed to film it all earlier than we did, but
yeah.
there was snow in Eastern Washington, so there was 4 feet of snow where we were shooting. It was snowing that day too, but it wasn't as bad, so we just couldn't shoot it earlier. So
Hmm.
they only had a little bit edited for that. So there's a lot more they're going to be releasing as they get, because the landing page for the product isn't ready yet and stuff. So as they start releasing that, then they'll release more in the footage.
That's absolutely insane.
Yeah.
What was your first partnership that you received or that you still have?
My first partnership, I think it was SkyTech.
Yeah,
SkyTech PCs was my first. Yeah.
really? Have you
I think
ever?
I call partnership, not affiliate with a code.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
have you ever had like the affiliate ships before you started getting the partnerships? Or were
Uh,
partnerships pretty early on for you?
I think I had Gamer Advantage.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had Gamer Advantage. Beef jerky.
Beef jerky.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. A
Yeah.
lot of people were doing the beef jerky back then.
I
Yeah.
think I know of one other I think that still has um I think I know of one other that has beef jerky.
It was tasty beef jerky.
Yeah.
I liked it. I mean, like,
Yeah.
I won't do it if I won't partner or work with someone if I don't believe in the
Like
product.
the product, yeah. That's how I
Yeah.
was too. I definitely there were a couple like I partner with Midnight Energy, which isn't very
Oh,
popular.
Sneak was
Like
one.
which one?
Sneak.
Sneak?
That
What
reminded me.
Sneak?
Energy.
Oh, energy. Okay. So see, there's a couple of energy drinks that go around, especially in the Twitter, and like they're now like making a name for themselves, like in the kick community and stuff. And
Mm-hmm.
um one that I had was Midnight Energy, and they aren't as like out there, which isn't, you know, a bad thing or a good thing. It's neither nor. It's just
Right.
or neither or. Look at me, I can't even talk. If you can't tell, it's getting hot in the room now. I'm like, oh gosh. Yeah, you fix that heater, babe. Thanks.
They gotta open a window and get some
Right.
coolness
I'm
in.
just like, well, because it's not my house. So for everybody who doesn't
Right.
know, I'm traveling and it is my sister-in-law's house and we just fixed the heater, but it is like I didn't want any background noise because I've got like the bare basics of what I need for audio right now. And it's like minimal editing and I'll take it.
Yeah.
Um, but anyway, I did with Midnight, but I did the same thing of how you said, where like I wanted to try the product first before, you know, I decided I wanted to affiliate with them. And so I
Mm-hmm.
tried the product with them. I loved it. I was like, holy crap, this is tasty. And it did definitely hydrate me, like they said, which I'm horrible at drinking my water. And but then like after I was like, okay, I'll go ahead and I'll accept the affiliate ship, and then they hit me back, and then they were just like, actually, how about a partnership? Would you like to be partnered with us instead? And they started offering all this stuff for me, and I was like, holy guacamole! I was like, sign me
Right.
up, I will take it. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, I've definitely noticed like as a streamer, I feel like it's easier than most people think to go ahead and like get an affiliate code. And there's like stigma between it no matter what side you're on. Like an affiliate code can be bad, an affiliate code can be good. It just kind of just depends on like what you're going for. Do you have any
Right.
advice for newbie baby streamers just getting started when it comes to affiliate ships or partnerships or sponsorships?
I would definitely say for make sure you enjoy the product. Don't do it just because, like, I got offered G Fuel and I got offered a partnership with G Fuel. I don't like it. So I wouldn't do it because I'm not gonna I don't feel right sharing with my community something I don't enjoy. So I think you need to believe in what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And two, have someone review that knows legal any document before you sign it.
That's a good
Don't
one.
just sign it because there's some stuff in there that will give them permission to use your likeness for whenever. I mean, there's some stuff you don't want in these things. We redline a lot of stuff that they bring to us. We don't sign things as is most of the time.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. We
Yeah.
have I actually just went ahead and had someone put on my team to go ahead and review legal documents for me before I start taking
Hmm.
on partnerships. And it's not because a lot of people think like you have to be like a bigwig to go ahead and like you need a legal team. It's like no, actually it's good
Yeah.
to view it no matter what size you are because you don't know what you're signing. And I feel
Exactly.
like sometimes you can get like really caught up in the hype of like, oh my gosh, someone wants to partner me or sponsor me,
Hmm.
and you get excited about it. And yes, it's a good thing, be excited about it, but also make sure of what you are actually agreeing to because you don't know.
Right.
And the other advice that someone gave too was you want to make sure like it's equally benefiting too. You want to make sure
Yeah.
that you are getting something in return for giving them something as well. And I
Right.
think people get really, really nervous to kind of negotiate things or talk about things because in fear of losing an affiliateship or losing a partnership. I think,
Right.
I think in my experience, and you can comment on this too, is that if you negotiating something for yourself and making sure that you're getting like, it's equal, it's beneficial for both parties, if that is going to depict if you are going to be accepted by them or not, or they're going to withdraw it, then I don't think that's a good partnership or sponsorship to
Exactly. No,
take
I agree
anyway.
because they're looking out for just one thing, and it has to be
Yeah.
like the people that I partner with, like they've all been like, we want this to benefit, like the same thing. We want this to benefit both of us.
Hmm.
It's not just a one sided thing for the most part. Like pretty much everyone we've signed, like has been like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
That's good advice. I appreciate that.
yeah, yeah,
We won't take too much longer, I promise. I like to keep this like kind of, in a good time window and
yeah,
because I could blab for hours, honestly. But I have to monitor myself because I get really caught up in it.
yeah.
So you mentioned that you do enjoy a lot of like FPS games and stuff, and you did
Hmm.
mention that you do like Tarkov and that's like your relaxing time. You did say too that you couldn't go ahead and play on controller because of your arthritis. Do you ever find
Yeah.
that with the keyboard and mouse that it is giving you like, do you have carpal tunnel arthritis?
No, so
No.
mine is
Okay.
it's in this joint. So I think it's because I played so much Call of Duty and I was a goalie in soccer. So when you catch a ball, like
Oh,
I got a lot of injuries, like especially this hand. It's my
okay.
weaker hand, right? It would kind of get more. I mean, my hands are all janked up from it. So I think it's probably that and just so much Call of Duty. It's like I can use a controller for some cozy games. It's not a lot of
Mm-hmm.
movement. I'm fine with that. But Call of Duty is so much like pushing down and running and moving that it just my hands end up hurting so bad. I just can't do it.
Yeah. I find that so for me it's good. I was always curious about that because I thought about that because I was like, well, arthritis, I immediately thought carpal tunnel because of just like in the hands. And like for me,
Mhm.
that's what I'm actually developing is
Mm,
carpal tunnle. That's
that's not
awful.
good.
So I've had to
Yeah.
come up with like adjustments to make sure I can prolong it. 'Cause I'm like, I know it's gonna happen eventually. I
You have one of
know this is
these?
going to. I do have one of those. Mine is a
So I use
cloud
that,
though,
but I'm not
and
like a wrist player either. I'm a whole arm. I do the whole arm more. So I think that
yeah,
helps.
so that's too. For me, it's like when I'm like it's like use like cramping up my hand to use WASD. That's what like the
Mm.
real like when the cramps actually start happening for me.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
since we
Yeah. So
started
far.
dealing more into podcasts and talking segments, I haven't really played all that many games. And
Hmm.
so it's not as big of a, I don't know. I tend to go ahead and overthink things and like try to go ahead and plan for something like, oh my gosh, I have to hurry up and do this because if I'm going to keep on doing this. And then like 2 weeks go by and I'm like, oh, I'm not really doing that anymore. So why was I freaking out about that? Like I had to get
Yeah.
my nails cut before because I was like, I just got a PC. I need to have short nails. And I played Valorant for like a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks tops. And I went back to my nail lady and I was like, hey, we can do long nails again. And she was like, are you sure? And I'm like, yeah, I'm not really using my keyboard as much as I thought I was. So I may have jumped the gun a little too soon.
I know I just had nails for the first time in a very long time to go because I had to do a Super Bowl thing and then Loop Fest. So I had nails. So it was like I didn't have them super long, but I
No,
feel you.
I
It was
saw
like,
them.
wait a minute.
They were pretty.
Yeah.
I saw them.
Yeah.
They were
They're
cute.
gone now. I didn't want to keep paying 60 some bucks for them. So
So another question I had for you actually. So obviously you're a grandma, right?
mhm.
Okay. How old are your grandbabies?
Here you go. I'll do this. They are, wait, I'll probably have to turn the brightness down. They're 5 and 3.
Oh,
So they're almost, he'll be 4 in 2 months, and she'll be 6 on her birthday in August. So here you go.
scoot it down just a
Here you go,
bit.
darling.
Oh, there you go. Look at them. Oh, they're so stinking cute.
Yeah,
Oh my
those are them.
gosh.
So I've had her on like a couple times I've streamed. She's come out here and talked. We did make like a TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
And then she was like, she found out, she's like, I didn't want to be on TikTok. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. I took it down. And
Yeah.
then we all talked as a family, and you're not going to be on anything else just because the internet is weird.
So that's what I was going to ask. So
Yeah.
as a mom of 3 littles, we talked about that. My community knows. For those who don't know, Grandma's community. I keep on looking over here because my chat's up over here.
Yeah.
My camera's right here. Like, oh my gosh.
No, I got you.
But I have a 9-year-old, a 5-year-old, and a 7-year-old. And I don't know why I did it in that order, but here we are. I did have them actually on my stream for a hot minute. I would have them on there, and I would go ahead and actually play with like I would play video games like with my daughter and with my son. We would play Fortnite together, and I don't mind playing the games with them and having like their voices be heard occasionally. However, I don't show them on stream anymore because I have seen it's so sad too, because it's like my daughter is a huge supporter. She recently wanted to start doing laundry as her chore. She's like, I don't want to scoop cat litter anymore. I want to do laundry. And I was like, okay. So we switched it. Bub does laundry, or Bub does cat litter. She does, laundry. And when she folds the laundry, though, I have my Sundays with Sin t-shirt. Dad has one now, and I have my hoodie, and then I'll have my beanies. And so when she goes ahead and does the laundry, she gets so excited, and she'll be like, hey, just so you know, your Sundays with Sin shirt is ready. It is clean. It's hanging up. And like, she's super pumped to tell me. And so I was telling her dad, I was like, I hate the world that we live in sometimes because she would love to be a part of it. We could do so many like mom and daughter things, but we can't because there are just these people out there that just want to, see evil or do evil. And it really sucks because like she's a big supporter in it. Like she's really happy about it.
Yeah.
And I find that, when it comes to like the conventions, right? It's like DreamHack and Loot Fest. I wanted more than anything to go ahead and bring them. But I was talking to Dad about it, and I was just like, I don't know if it's a good call or not, because one, it's chaotic. There's a lot going on. And for people like myself, it's a leisure time, but it's also a business trip too,
Right.
And so I don't know. I guess I was just going to kind of ask about, and you already answered it, how you're like, you just don't put them on there anymore because the internet. And it kind of sucks though, because it's just like they're a big part of it, and I want to share them. And
It's hard too because like we like my daughter and son-in-law and the grandkids, they live upstairs, we live downstairs. We bought a house together. Like we have our own kitchens and stuff. So we live in the same house. So
oh, that is so cool.
Early on, like my LLC and everything was under our home address. We didn't know. And then I had someone come in my chat and put my name, and then, which isn't as bad, but then they put my address in chat. I was like,
oh,
how did you get my address? And then we realized it was because of that. So now we have a registered agent, so our address is somewhere else.
good.
And so it's not attached anyhow.
Yeah.
But and because of the fact that I've gotten more followers, and especially like known like through TikTok and stuff like that, there's weirdos out there, and I don't want to get my grandkids out there to be targeted any sort of way, right? So
yeah, it just really,
why we all talked.
yeah, it's really tough. And like you don't think of it like immediately until something happens. And then you think about it afterwards, and you're just like, okay, well, if this happened, I don't want something else to happen, in extremity. So we're gonna, do this from now on.
I just saw this video. I don't know if you know who Call Me Chris is on YouTube. She's
Yes.
hilarious. She's a
Oh my
YouTuber.
God, I love her so much.
She just put a video. I guess this might be drama. I'm not gonna
No,
mention any names. Okay.
Yeah.
So there's a TikToker that puts their kid on that's 3, but some of the stuff she has her do is, it seems innocent, but it's not to some people innocent.
Yeah.
So what's happening is people are saving these videos. Well, the only people that save these videos are not for nice reasons. So stuff like that, we're like, oh, okay, so there's people out there that will use videos of kids in inappropriate ways. So that's another reason why.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then too, like for other people, like for myself, I had to watch what I put on the internet too, because even like on social media, anything could have been used. Like I was going through a custody battle not too long ago. And, everything's said and done now. We're, on good terms with stuff. But like for a minute while things were happening in court, it was very, very rocky. And any
Mm-hmm.
little thing that happened, I couldn't even post about my children on social media with family because there were friends on there that would share the pictures and save it. And if you don't have certain settings on your social media, there are certain pictures that people can go ahead and go find. And it was like sent back, and it was like almost like, a stalkerish kind of aspect where it was just
Yeah.
why do you guys have to ruin such a good thing? Why do you have to take, this from people? And then I
Yeah.
was forced to get like family members' numbers to keep up with them, which I was just like really happy being lazy so I can just post on social media and they could see it.
Right. Yeah.
It's like, great, you forced me to go ahead and talk to my third cousin twice removed. I appreciate that.
Hey, cuz.
Yeah, no kidding. Was there any questions that you had for me or for my community?
I don't think so. Unfortunately, I mean, is that bad?
No, I asked
No.
because the one time I didn't ask, I got scolded for it. And they were just like, I had
Oh.
questions for you. You didn't ask me. And I was like,
Oh.
well, I guess I got to start asking people that now, you know? And then we got to have like an awkward moment when they don't have anything prepared like a normal person. Sorry, not everybody's a weirdo like you.
That's so funny.
If you were to leave us with one bit of advice or something you would want us to know about you, what would you like to tell us?
Jeez, that's a good question.
I
I don't know.
try.
I just think here is the one thing, because this is what I try to do. I'm not always great at it. My chat
Hmm.
knows I slip up. But anyways, like it doesn't take much to just be kind to someone or kind to people out there, even if they're kind of obnoxious and rude back. Because like I said, like some people just are lashing out because there's just stuff going on in their life, right? So if we
Hmm.
could just be nice and kind to people, maybe we can change someone's day.
I love that. I always think that I've always said, and I teach it to my kids too. I'm like, you don't know what kind of day somebody's having. You have no idea.
Mm-hmm.
And to put it in terms for my kids, I tell them, just say something nice to somebody. Just always
Yeah.
just try and say something nice at least once a day to somebody, some random person. Just try to say something nice. And the reason for me is because, and I can say it like this when I'm talking to an adult. I don't say it like this when I'm talking to my kid, but you don't know what someone's going through and what thing could set them off. And that could be the last thing that happens to them for that day, forever.
Yeah.
That'd be the very
Yeah.
last thing that happens to them. This life is so short. And
Yeah.
if you have any bit of control or anything you could say, to anybody, just say it with kindness. Just
Yeah.
what Cinderella's we just watched Cinderella. It was Cinderella. It was always be kind and have courage.
Yeah.
I love that now.
Well, I
So I'm
mean,
gonna
there's
start
just
saying
so
it to
many
them.
people that are going through rough stuff, right? They're just
Hmm.
going through rough stuff, and sometimes just a kind word could change that day.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, I do appreciate you taking the time to talk with me today.
Well, thank you for having
Um,
me. I appreciate it.
oh my gosh, I forgot my last question.
But-
I'm so sorry. My
No,
last
that's
question
fine.
for you is, okay, what was one of your biggest failures or setbacks as a streamer, and how did you overcome it?
Hmm.
This is a question
That's a
somebody
good
asked me
question.
recently, and I was like,
Yeah.
I'm going to start using this because that is a good one.
I think I'm still overcoming it. I think kind of putting all my, even though I had other platforms, I put all my energy and everything into Facebook,
Mm-hmm.
right? As a streamer. Like I had Twitch, I had TikTok, but I really wasn't. I mean, I posted on TikTok, but like streaming wise, Twitch, I didn't really stream on it. So I put all my hope into one platform. I would
Mm-hmm.
say don't do that as a streamer. Make sure you diversify. Make sure if you even if you're streaming mainly on Kick, put some stuff on another one like on Twitch or somewhere else,
Mm-hmm.
YouTube. just make sure that you're not putting all your eggs in one basket, because we've seen this industry, unfortunately, a couple times now with Mixer, with Facebook, that
D
nothing's
Live.
guaranteed. And G Live, yeah, nothing's
Mm-hmm.
guaranteed. So you need to make sure you kind of diversify a little bit.
Yeah.
So
I think that's a
I'm
big
still
thing
kind of
too.
coming out from that right
Yeah.
now. And I let it get to me so much that it affected my mental health for a while. But now it's like, whatever, it is what it is.
Yeah. I noticed that because like we were saying, I remember I was watching you like on Facebook. I remember like that's where I had seen you was Facebook. And I didn't know it until I don't know, somebody said something. They said how Facebook wasn't there anymore. And I was like, oh, they don't have Facebook gaming anymore? Like
I
I
mean,
was
they do,
flabbergasted.
they kind of, but they say they
Yeah.
do, but it's not the same.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what a lot of people were saying too. So, and then I learned
I mean, they got rid
actually,
of all their partner managers. I mean, they didn't get rid of them. They got rid of some, and then some moved to a different side of Meta,
oh,
and
of
there's no
course.
partner managers
Of
anymore, right?
course. Of
So,
course. They
but
had
of
it.
course, there's not. They're like, Facebook gaming's not going anywhere, but yet you're not there anymore.
Yep, exactly. Well, I
Yeah.
learned then too at Loot Fest when they did the kick panel of the rise of kick. I think it was what they called
Mm-hmm.
it, the panel that they did. I had learned then about how people were on, I think it was Mixer. Was it Mixer or was it D Live? I don't know. They were on one of them, but it was like everything, like they had everything set, and then like just one day they went to go stream again, and they just learned that the platform was completely down. They learned that like
Crazy.
everything that they had put into it, it was gone. They didn't have any revenue, any source of income. They had no plans. They didn't have a backup plan. They had nothing because they just
Yeah.
woke up one day and the platform was completely gone. I think people look at like multi-streaming and even not multi-streaming, just posting your content elsewhere though to help you grow as a
Mm-hmm.
creator and then
Yeah.
starting to branch off on your own too of like your company of what you do,
Yeah.
and trying to go ahead and find other avenues of that.
Yeah.
I think that's some pretty
And
sound
don't
advice.
just focus on live streaming, because really that's not going to sustain you live streaming. It's the
No.
content other places
Mhm.
that really is more sustainable. I neglected my YouTube for so long because I just
Yeah.
didn't do it. So I'm way behind on YouTube.
I am too. I am too. So we're in the same boat together.
Yeah.
I have to go through a lot of videos and do a lot of clipping and upload stuff and start posting in shorts and stuff. And
Yeah.
it's a little difficult to
I mean, you
do.
can take a lot of your podcasts and turn them into little shorts. And apparently there's an AI that supposedly can help with that. I don't know what it is.
Oh,
I remember someone telling me. So I would like research that. There's an
I
AI that
will.
can help
Cause
take your
like,
things, and it kind of just
listen.
scans and finds those little moments
That's what
for
I'm
you.
just saying, because like it's so
Yeah.
difficult to do because like the podcast can range anywhere from 40, like 30, 45 minutes to like I've had podcasts that last almost 3 hours and I had to split up in two segments. Like so
Mm-hmm.
it just depends. There's so much stuff to go through. Then I gotta go up like 2 days later for the next podcast and taking care of the three kids and then I run two
Yeah.
businesses and then school full time and so it's just like I'm like, how in the hell am I gonna fit
Right. How are
editing
you supposed
into
to do all
here?
this?
Like, how am I
Yeah.
supposed to do this?
Yeah. That's a lot.
Well, I do appreciate this. Go ahead and tell us your socials. Are you Tactical Grandma everywhere? Where can we find you?
Everywhere. Yeah.
Everywhere?
Every platform, Tactical Grammar, GRAMMA. But yeah, Twitch, TikTok, Twitter, Insta, Facebook, which I don't pay as much on those because I'm salty.
I don't pay
YouTube,
much
doing more
attention to
shorts
Insta
now.
anyway. I feel like it's a dying platform, to be completely
Well,
honest.
I don't make, here's the thing. I put a reel on Facebook, 2 million views, 2 million views, $160 I made. I make
What?
that like, yeah, that's it. On you know what that would have been on TikTok would have been insane. But anyways, yeah.
That's
$150
crazy.
for 2 million views.
That's
Crazy.
that's
Ridiculous.
disrespectful. That's just
Mhm.
disrespectful.
Mhm. Yeah, they're making money off it, but I ain't seeing it.
Well, I understand
Yeah.
why you are salty then.
Yeah.
Oh, someone did ask, I do apologize. They said, where do you stream mainly? That's Twitch now, right?
Twitch. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I do Twitch, and then I'll add TikTok in about an hour and a half in for a while.
What's
Yeah.
your advice for streaming on TikTok?
Ignore most of the chat. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding. There's so many trolls on there. It's probably the most toxic platform there is. But there's great gems on there. Like literally, I found, I think was it Andrea? I think was one of my mods now is I found through TikTok.
Yeah.
So I think two of my mods. So there's great people on TikTok.
Well, that's
But
good.
it's just you can't let it get to you because it's full of a lot of children, and they
Mm-hmm.
say terrible things to try to get a
Yeah.
rise out of you. Literally, if you ignore their comment, they just go away because they just want attention.
Yeah.
Just ignore 'em.
I'm
If it's
just
racist or homophobic, delete it. Otherwise, I just ignore them.
That's some good advice then. I need to try and
Yeah.
get back on TikTok live. It's been difficult,
I
but
need YouTube follows. There goes my husband. She needs YouTube follows.
yeah, there you go. Let's see. Yeah, make sure we go follow her on YouTube. I will be posting that as well because I'm gonna put all your socials in when I
Oh,
upload
thank you.
this. Of course, the episode will be on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. And I think that I was trying to take a look over here at the chat. I think that is it for us. Do you have any closing remarks that you would like to say? No. Peace. Okay, yeah. All
I'm
right,
kidding.
guys. Well, I do
I'm
appreciate
just
this
kidding.
episode of Sundays with Sin. Grandma, do you have anybody on? Oh, yes. Thank you so much, Run Until You Fly, for all those. Those are all of Grandma's socials right there. You have Twitch, TikTok, and her YouTube. Make sure you guys go drop her a follow if you aren't already following her. Do you have anybody on Kick that is live right now?
Actually, Cupcake is.
Cupcake? You
She's
wanna
another older female as me.
can
Not
we
as old as me,
can
but older.
someone put that in chat so I can go ahead? I'm gonna go ahead and do this.
It says like C4 instead of CA. Cupcake
Yep.
C4.
Give me 1 second.